What's up, you guys? Welcome to Liberate Your Money, episode 40. It is September 29th. Wake me up when September ends. Man, we got a lot to talk about. It's been about a month since I did my last video. We're going to talk a little bit about China banning transactions in crypto. Apparently, they've banned crypto for like the millionth time now. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fed and just all of the money printing and the strong US dollar. And then we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin chart and just kind of tell you my thoughts on price action. So last video, the major drop we found out was from China banning a lot of the mining, and later on, shortly after I did my last video, they banned all transactions of crypto as well. And we saw another leg down. That was after we had already reached 50K. And then the news broke out, and we've been trending down since we tested 50K for the first time. And, I gotta... It seems like every cycle, every Bitcoin cycle, China is banning Bitcoin, and it's become a meme at this point. That's why this tweet is so hilarious to me, because this is like the 12th time that we've heard that China is banning Bitcoin, and really, like, they're communists. Like, this doesn't surprise anybody. And like at this point, like, I'm kind of surprised that price didn't nuke further. You would think it would be worse news, especially for the amount of people that hold crypto in China. And maybe there's more worse things to come. I sure hope not. I don't think so. I think there's a possibility that we get below this trend line, but I don't think we're going to stay there for very long if we do. And I kind of foresee price trending around this trend line. We might break out of this little falling wedge that we're in. Almost looks like a cup and handle type pattern. But like, honestly, did we really think that Bitcoin was going to break 50K like on its first try? I don't necessarily think so. And if we look at the line chart and we just draw, let's call this the major resistance level that we went and tested, right? So we bottomed out, popped up. We had 10 green days in a row on this move up. My last video, we had just broken above this, and then we came back down into this range that we were stuck in forever. And then we eventually broke out of it. And then we kind of had this same like topping pattern that we seen over here, where we had kind of like 3 pushes up, and then we just kind of roll over, had that complacency bounce, and then we rolled over, big time after we broke this low. But we're sitting on this major support level. Like, where was the next logical support level that we would have found support at? Like, there really wasn't much. I mean, you could call this an important level, but really, like, we blew past it, kind of like we went past it. It acted as resistance, and then we eventually broke above it, but like, it wasn't that big of a resistance level. So really, like, this is all hot air in between here. Like, these are the 2 major levels, and we're kind of stuck in between that. And now price is sitting on that high of the previous level that we were in, right? And we're also at this major trend line level. So it's, to me, I think this is a high RR for a long opportunity. I think if you're a believer in the trend, I think this is a good place to dollar cost average, get a position. Because if we break this trend line, which I could totally see a fake out, like, the bearishness around crypto Twitter is at unbelievable levels right now, and I get it. Like, honestly, a lot of the bearishness is because of the traditional markets, right? And the dollar. This is the dollar line chart, and you can see it's breaking out of this double bottom pattern it's got going on. You can call it like a double head and shoulders type deal. And fully expecting the dollar to be strong here. It is at resistance, but like the dollar's never strong for very long. Like it definitely has its uptrends, but it always then finds new lows, right? Like it's been finding new lower highs since 2017. And it bounced at this level down here. Now we're seeing a strong dollar, and the Fed's been having meetings. They're trying to push this spending bill, and like, I mean, they're gonna do it. It's all theater, right? I mean, they have no other choice. We all know this. This is the big long, right? I mean, this is why bears always die, is because, or they get bought the fuck out, is because the Fed always steps in and they higher the debt ceiling. People like Yellen that were saying that we can't raise the debt ceiling are now parading around saying that we need to raise the debt ceiling. Like, it's literally all theater. These people work for, people that aren't going to lower spending. The spending is going to continue to go on. They get hawkish. They start talking about tapering. And I'm not saying that they won't ever taper, but like the way things are, the way the economy is, like they're not just going to let things crumble and go to shit. So we supposedly default on our debt on October 18th, which is in like 3 weeks, right? Not even 2.5 weeks. And so there's this tons of theater going around. The politics, obviously, since Democrats are in charge right now, they hold the House, the Senate, and the Oval Office. Obviously, Republicans are going to play politics and try to disagree with every spending bill that they try to get passed, because that's what they do. They want the other side to default on something. They want them to be responsible for whatever political catastrophe could happen. So they're obviously going to try to do that, but it's all theater. They know they're eventually going to pass or increase the debt ceiling and continue on the money printing and this QE monetary experiment that they've got going on that is causing all of this inflation and dislocations in markets, and it just, reality seems like it just keeps getting crazier. And you can attribute that to the Federal Reserve and central banks. They like to point the finger and say climate change and, all these other things are responsible for instability. And it's like, you guys got a lot of nerve, man. You guys are the ones that are pumping these markets full of liquidity and inflating everything. And it's just honestly super irresponsible. And then we come to find out that 2 Fed presidents had to quit because there was evidence that they were insider trading. So like, these are the types of people that are running the Federal Reserve, same types of people that are in office in our government. I mean, we all know this. Nancy Pelosi's like, she's a stock trader more than she is a fucking Senate Majority Leader. I mean, she's, if you follow her calls, you're probably going to do really well. And that's not because she's a great stock trader. It's because she has insider information. She works for the government. She knows which companies are going to benefit from her policies. It's not fucking rocket science. It's an absolute travesty that we even allow people in our government to trade stocks, in my opinion. But anyways, back to price action. This Horn Harris guy, he's great on Twitter. Any of these people, their tweets that I pull up, you guys should definitely give him a follow. But he's got the crypto market cap, total market cap chart pulled up. It looks a lot like Bitcoin. And he's got this same trend line, right? And he makes a lot of good points here, how it looks like that 2016-2017 area where we had the breakout from the all-time high, and we've been consolidating forever in like this rounded top. Like, I mean, it could be a double top, obviously, but like, he makes a good point here. Like, how often have we ever seen a dead cat bounce or a complacency shoulder within 3% of the previous all-time high? And in 2018, it was not 3%. It was much lower. And so he makes a good point here. I think we could very well just be in the first consolidation after breaking all-time high, and this is going to continue on, you know, into what could be the rest of 2022. I'm personally not bullish on the rest of 2022. You know, I'm going to be looking to get out Q1 2022. I've actually already started selling some of my altcoins just to be safe, because I'm up multiples. You know, I'm not an idiot. I'm not just going to hold it blindly. You know, I do recognize that this chart could roll over, right? I mean, Bitcoin looks like dog shit. I mean, this doesn't look good, right? I mean, but based on the past, based on all the money printing that they're doing, based on the trend line, the technicals, you know, on-chain metrics aren't saying that tons of people in whales are unloading here. You know, I don't think this is distribution. I think we're going to find out here quickly if it is distribution. You know, I could totally be wrong, obviously. You know, this is just one man's opinion. But like, I think this level here is super important, super crucial. If we bring back the candles, I like the 3-day chart. I think it's a lot clearer as far as the levels go. This level here is super important, right? I mean, it was the top here before we broke up above it, and then it was the top of the range here. We struggled to get above it again here, and now we are struggling to get below it here. And it's hugged up against this trend line, so we've got quite the little inflection point here. And you know, I should have saved that tweet. Aaron Jones is on Team FTX. I don't know if you guys saw that. FTX is whoever's doing their I don't know what you call it, their media, their sponsoring and everything, is doing a hella good job. Tom Brady's on board. They got Aaron Jones, just killing it. But I was going to show you one of my charts, just an idea I had on what we could see. I'm hoping to see out of Bitcoin. So right here, obviously this is a big inflection point that I was talking about. This is the level that we struggled to get above. You could call it this level here with a deviation above it, whatever. Both levels are pretty important. Just call it 50K level. But like this consolidation falling wedge that we broke out of, I think we're in a similar consolidation pattern. And I think right around here we're going to find that support, hopefully break out of this, retest 50K again, maybe not break it at first try, right? I mean, a lot of times a strong resistance level needs to be tested a few times before it'll break. I'm expecting it not to break on a second retest, expecting it to come back down, reconsolidate, and eventually get above it. And I think once we get above that level, it's off to the races, and we'll probably make that next move up to like 80K, and you know, see what happens from there, and have like a similar type bull run from 2018, late 2017 cycle, and you know, finish the year strong and head into Q1 strong. And then from there, I really don't know. You know, I don't know what's going to happen in the next week, let alone then, but like, that's kind of what I'm projecting. Been projecting that for a while, as far as like the time frame, but like, obviously, you know, history, it doesn't repeat, but it does often rhyme. So like, I'm kind of going with the rhyme thing, where similar time frame as the last cycle, but like, could obviously run short or long. And right now, it's leaning like it could end short, right? I mean, the chart doesn't look good. We need to get above this level. I think we're going to do that. I think this is a consolidation, you know, cup and handle type pattern, another consolidation pattern that we're going to break out of, send us right back to that 50K, and hopefully break out above it. I also want to see the RSI down here reset. Hasn't gotten down there yet. It's a little bit better since I took this screenshot. This was on the 24th, so obviously price has consolidated and gone down a little bit. But like, we're still stuck in this consolidation. I'm hoping that we're going to break out of it. If we don't, if we fall below it, we want to see the lows hold. And you know, if we get below this trend line, you want to see a wick. And if it doesn't wick, or we get like some daily closes or a weekly close below it, it's not going to be good, in my opinion. And we'll probably come down and, you know, test 25, 29, 30K for sure, and then 25 to 20K. Probably come back down and test that weekly 200 moving average. I don't even know where it's at. I think it's around 16 or 17K right now. So don't want to think about that, right? That would foreshadow a Bitcoin bear market until the next halving, in my opinion. But I don't think we're quite ready for that. I think it's still a little too early. I think we printed too much money. I think we're just dealing with other factors that are kind of dragging us down, right? Like, if we look back to the March 2020 crash, right? Like, we were doing great. We were consolidating. We broke out of it. Like, look, we were on a warpath to like bullishness before the news broke out, the white black swan event, COVID shit, and then markets went to hell in a hurry. And then we continued that bullishness after rebounding and consolidating for a little bit, right? Like, look at this trajectory. And then it was just like, oh shit, bad news. And then it was like, boom, continue the trajectory. And had this rounding top. And then, like Hornhair said, we came within 3% of all-time high. And that's supposed to be the complacency shoulder? Like, I don't know. Like, probably not, in my opinion. We need to get back above 50K, though, guys. I am remaining bullish, as long as we hold this 37, 38K area, even down to like 35K, as long as we hold that, I remain bullish in my views. I'm scaling out of altcoins. I'm still holding a lot of my positions. I'm hoping, praying on the second wave, but we just got to stay cautious, man. The economy is dog shit. Our government is complete dog shit. They're trying to push a bunch of spending and play theatrics with politics. And, people are getting sick of it. Populism, it's the reason we have so much populism is because these guys create so much turmoil with their policies. With their spending policies, creates dislocations, creates inflation, makes it harder for people to earn and make a living and have purchasing power in markets. If our dollar is constantly deflating on us or inflating on us to where we don't have any purchasing power, it creates like turmoil and populism, and that's why you're seeing far left and far right people. It's fucking central bankers are the ones creating this shit. So anyways, that's all I got, guys. Stay positive. I don't think there's, obviously you want to have a plan. Start getting a plan for either way. Only thing we can do is stay prepared and be ready to execute whether the market goes up or down. So that would be my best advice to you guys. Hit me up on Twitter, BTC Bo, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay safe, stay sharp, and peace out.